What's going on, everyone? I'm Travis Brown alongside Robert Cessna here in Kyle Field. Texas A&M just got done with their spring game. I believe the white team won over the maroon team for whatever that matters. It was mostly the first team defense beat the first team offense, if you want to go by it that way. Cease, just what are some of your initial observations of what you saw today?
Well, once again, it's so hard to take things out of spring football games. But, you pick and choose. There were times I thought both quarterbacks, Mac Johnson and Wegman, looked good. There were times I said, why are they throwing that ball? I mean, I thought there was 3 plays in a row Wegman should have thrown an interception. But then again, he probably threw 30 balls today or what have you, so that's going to happen, 25 and 26. So, you can tell when Jimbo came in afterwards, I thought he was upbeat as well as he should, just because they played so many players. People making plays that the first thing I look at, probably like you did, okay, who's like number 13? It's Michael Tees, a freshman, catches a long 52-yard touchdown pass. So those kind of plays. And I thought Aniyah Smith came in and put things into perspective. They let the offensive linemen, because they're so short of numbers, played both ways. Well, some of those guys played well, but some of the defensive line played well. I love Reuben Owens, only carried the ball a few times, but man, he looked good. So they had a lot of enough, to me, good plays, which is what a spring game is about. Yeah, they had a lot of guys sitting on the sideline, McKinley Jackson, Muhammad, and other guys we already knew were going to be there. So I don't want to take too much into it, praise-wise or criticize-wise, but I did think they got enough quantity of plays. And then I think they had enough quality because of that. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but they didn't get anybody injured, and you get real worried because Noah Thomas went off the field early, went right into the locker room, and he evidently talking to everybody is one of the highlights of spring, so you'd hate for him to get hurt. So they get out of injuries, out of spring ball with no injuries from the game. I think that's number one. Yeah,
Noah Thomas, of course, the offensive MVP from those spring game awards that they hand out. But a guy they talked about a lot, and Jimbo Fisher actually said he was sad that he didn't get to showcase that more to the fans here. It was an interesting one, 65-yard drives on a short field here. It gave you a little bit of a different vibe of spring. They said that the stadium new suite should be on schedule for a fall kickoff. This is what we call a segue in the business. Who seems like they were on schedule to you in this game?
Well, I got to laugh as Bond hit 4 field goals. And I mean, if A&M's going to be in a lot of close games, I know that sounds stupid, but you want your field goal kicker to be able to hit. And remember, last year they did have problems early. That's why Bond came on to be the field goal kicker. But that being said is, they had a couple of linebackers. Bryce Anderson made a lot of plays. He came into us. Their linebackers, and I'll be like Jimbo. He put the numbers out there. But they had a lot of people, I thought, like you mentioned, the first defense beat the offense, which I thought was kind of good because, if your defense is flying to the football, I think that's a good thing. Nolan, the guys, they put a lot of pressure. Dindy, a lot of people come in on blitzes. Very vanilla offense. We didn't see any motions. We didn't see anything that Max Wright said about deception, whatever. They just ran plays. So, really a lot of guys, I thought all 3 running backs ran the ball well when they ran the ball. I don't think they ran the ball that much, but Daniels, Moss, and Reuben, whatever, and even another guy, they ran the ball well when they ran it. And I said, well, they should run the ball more. A couple of deceptive plays, Johnson was able to, fake the handoff, come out around, and let's you're right, we're hopping all around. I firmly believe Jimbo was honest when he said he loves the competition at quarterback. Because I thought at halftime, even though Wegman was with, quote, the first team offense, I thought Johnson had got the best of the half. And I think then the second half, you had to remember that he was going with against the first team defense. So I think, quarterback is open. I would give Wegman the edge for a lot of reasons. Everybody thinks it is. He's got 4. He's probably got the better NIL deal, all these things. But I still think Johnson could win that job. I don't think it's just Wegman's handed to him. But I also think that's what A&M is trying to say. It's all about competition, and it starts with the number one position. They have a lot, and I thought once again, as I know there were segments, once again, that's the second time in a row Jimbo talked about the transfer portal. They're definitely going to add players to the transfer portal because they need depth. Because like Jimbo, what did he say today? You're only as good as your second teamers. Well, they didn't have some good first teamers last year. I think he feels good about all starters. I think he can put 22 starters out right now and feel good about them. But I think it'll be interesting to see who they pick up in the portal.
Well, I mean, Jimbo was saying, quite kind of jokingly, getting honest for our questions. You stole my last question. You got it. So let's go with this one. I know it's hard. It is a little bit of a fallacy to try to gauge too much off of spring game. But from when you walked in the door here to Kyle Field to now when you're walking out, do you feel like the stock level of A&M football is trending up, trending down, staying the same from what you saw today?
It's trending up. Why? Believe it or not, because of what I saw, but coupled with Shamir Turner, I'll get their names wrong, Shamir Turner talking to us along with Bryce Anderson. They weren't coach speak. They were heartfelt that they came here to win a championship. And A&M's a long way from winning a championship. But those guys' attitude tells me they're going to get closer because if all the guys that remained are like them, Bryce Anderson has a lot of Antonio Johnson in him. Shamar Turner can be a beast, and if A&M has more beasts on the defensive line, so I feel better for A&M's football because of those guys. If they get a lot of those guys, and evidently Noah Thomas is like that. Because, they lost some guys, let's be honest. I thought one of the best things of the week was Matthew Wyckoff transferring. Why? Because that told me he's down on the line of linemen. He's not going to play a lot. I wish him the best, but last year at this time they were bragging him up that he was like one of the top 6. Well, he's not. So right now, what does that mean? This was a 5-7 team, and let's be honest, they probably should have lost to LSU. LSU didn't play well, so this was a 4-8 team. So they only could go up. So right now the stock is up. I think they still have a long ways to go to be a 10-win team, but Aggies should feel better about where they are, and why wouldn't they be after last year's train wreck, as I called it a few times.
I think we milked spring game completely dry. So be sure to check theeagle.com for Cease's story, recap from everything here. And
we got football and baseball. We got softball and baseball coming up.
We've got like months to go before more football happens.
Tennis, track.
Yeah, everything going on. I got to walk over to Bluebell to go get my car.
I got to walk a long way too.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check theeagle.com to check his story, and we'll be back soon with more of any sport you desire. Thanks.